We're joined by Craig Button and Jamie McLennan now. And guys, Marner versus the Maple Leafs. That's something we'll see for the first time tonight. So let's start with the Marner side of the conversation. And Craig, how would you grade his first half of the season with the Golden Knights?
No, I think it's been very good. You're trying to fit in with a new group of players. You're fitting into a new system. And keep in mind, he hadn't played in the Western Conference. So a lot of it is new to Mitch Marner, not just where he's living, but the whole hockey environment for him. But you look at what he's done. He's been a really good player, 5-on-5. He's been excellent. He's still really great defensively. And the Vegas Golden Knights are a really top team. And certainly, I think Mitch Marner has been a big part of that.
And if you look at it, Mitch Marner, I think, is a guy that has helped their power play, helped in all situations. To me, again, over a point a game, Craig, you make a great point settling into the Western Conference, but if you look at him, the quarterback on the power play, he's not getting those secondary points. So he actually should have more points, but it goes down to Eichel, down to Stone, into the slot to Hurdle, and on the back door for Dorofeyev. So he's not getting those freebie points, but everything still runs through Mitch Marner. The entries, the exits, all of that type of stuff. He's an elite player. It's just he might not be rewarded for some of his terrific work in Vegas.
Okay, yeah. And how about the Leafs side of the conversation? We know the Leafs missed him at the beginning of the season, but Noodles, do you think they have finally adjusted to life without Marner?
It's almost like a breakup. A lot of times for the first couple months, everybody's in a fog. And now all of a sudden, both sides have learned to live without each other. And it took, I would say, the Toronto Maple Leafs a little bit longer to get past the Marner breakup, because he was, as I just laid out, he was the guy who everything ran through him on the power play, the entries, the exits, distributing the puck. And, they had to find other avenues. And it took a firing of Mark Savard and Steve Sullivan coming in for the power play to get going, 5-on-5. And let's not forget, penalty kill, they got the penalty kill in order. But Mitch Marner was the guy who was the first over the boards every time for the penalty kill. So it took a while for the Maple Leafs to adjust without Mitch Marner. I think he had to adjust in Vegas like Craig laid out, but I think both relationships have recovered and they've moved on.
In Vegas, there's lots of Elvis impersonators, lots of costumes you see in Vegas. I never thought that I would see Mitch Marner in a Vegas jersey. I thought it would always be the hometown kid playing for his hometown favorite team, the Leafs. And to Jamie's point, I mean, the breakup has been what it is. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer for everybody not only to accept it, but to adapt to it. And to Jamie's point, I think they have adapted to it. We'll see if the power play can continue to adapt. It has been really good. I think the key here is how much Austin Matthews has missed Mitch Marner. Because Austin Matthews is still an elite goal scorer, but if you don't have that elite passer putting that puck on your stick where you need it and where you can be the most dangerous, you're going to be affected in terms of goal production. And I think that has been a big factor where we see Austin Matthews' goal productivity a little bit down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And finally, Noodles, you played for 6 different NHL teams, so you're an expert on facing old teammates. What do you think Marner is going through right now, and how do you think it'll play out tonight?
I think the emotions will be high. It'll be a little bit weird when you're lining up against your former teammates. Now, they played last night in LA, so he didn't get an opportunity to hang out with them, maybe go for dinner the night before the game. So it will be a little bit weird when you're on the ice and facing guys you're so familiar with. Where I think the biggest test for him and the hardest mentally will be his return to Toronto, where you walk into the building. For many years, he would head to the home ice dressing room, to the home ice bench, all of that type of stuff. It'll be a lot weirder when he comes back to Toronto, because right now he's settled into Vegas's arena. He's settled into the city of Vegas. It is a little strange facing your buddies, but when the puck drops, you're trying to win the game. So I think that'll be the focus tonight for Mitch Marner. But when they play in Toronto, that's when it'll get a little bit weird for him, because everything will be so familiar but so different.
Yeah, it's almost like tonight is the opening act, and then next week is the main event for Marner. The Golden Knights, they do enter this game 3 points up on the Leafs. And guys, it may not sound like a lot, but Vegas leads the Pacific right now while Toronto sits outside of the playoffs.